He thought he was the untouchable king of Houston, but tonight, the crown didn't just slip, it was snatched. We aren't talking about a rap beef anymore. We are talking about a military-grade extraction that has left the mob-ties empire paralyzed. While the world was watching Ben 10 fight for his life in a hospital bed, NBA YoungBoy was allegedly playing God from the shadows. Sources are now confirming that Jay, Prince Jr. has vanished, pulled from his vehicle in a high-precision strike that mainstream media is too terrified to cover. But here's the part that will stop your heart. YoungBoy didn't just want him gone. He wanted the truth. We've just received word of a leaked recording from a private warehouse where the prince was forced to face the digital receipts of his own betrayal. The code has been broken, the CCTV footage is about to leak, and the streets of Houston are currently on a level 10 lockdown. If you think you know how this ends, you're wrong. The prince has been dethroned, and the retaliation is going to be televised. To understand how we reached this point of no return, we have to look past the glitz of the rap industry and dive deep into the cold, unforgiving reality of the Houston street hierarchy. For decades, Houston has been a city governed by an unwritten law, the mob ties law. At the center of this empire sits the Prince family, with Jay, Prince Jr. moving as the designated enforcer of the family's influence. In the South, his name wasn't just a name, it was a clearance code. If you were a rapper and you wanted to touch down in Houston, you paid the tax, you showed the respect, or you faced the consequences. But on the other side of this chessboard is Kentrell Deshaun Golden, known to the world as NBA YoungBoy. A man who has built a billion-dollar empire on the very idea of never breaking again, and, more importantly, never bowing down. YoungBoy doesn't move like a celebrity. He moves like a warlord. His loyalty isn't to the industry or the OGs. It's to his brothers, his mud brothers, who were with him in the trenches of Baton Rouge before the world knew his name. The tension between 4KT and mob ties isn't new. It's a slow-burning fuse that was lit years ago during the infamous garage incident involving YoungBoy's recovered vehicles. While the public saw it as a minor dispute, the streets saw it as a direct challenge to YoungBoy's sovereignty. Since that day, the air between Baton Rouge and Houston has been thick with the scent of gunpowder and unspoken threats. Fast forward to April 8, 2026. The world stopped when news broke that NBA Ben 10, YoungBoy's most loyal lieutenant and closest affiliate, had been gunned down in broad daylight at Confessions restaurant in Houston. The official story was a botched robbery over a chain. But anyone with eyes could see the tactical precision of the strike. Ben 10 wasn't just a victim. He was a message. A message sent directly to YoungBoy that said, "Your people aren't safe in my city." For 2 weeks, the 4KT camp remained eerily silent. No erratic IG lives, no public war declarations, just a deafening, tactical silence. But behind the scenes, YoungBoy's private intelligence team was reportedly working overtime. They weren't looking for the shooter, they were looking for the person who gave the order. Sources close to the situation claim that YoungBoy authorized a multi-million-dollar search and locate mission, utilizing high-level digital forensics to intercept encrypted messages coming out of the Houston area. The background to this kidnapping is rooted in a devastating betrayal. Inside sources are now whispering that Jay, Prince Jr. allegedly felt Ben 10's presence in Houston, without his explicit blessing, was the ultimate sign of disrespect. The rumor mill suggests that the shooter, All-Star Jr., didn't just stumble upon Ben 10. He was allegedly fed the location by someone who knew the restaurant's seating chart by heart. This wasn't just a rap beef anymore. This was a violation of the highest order. In the world of 4KT, if you set up a brother, you forfeit your right to safety. YoungBoy has always said, "I'm a peaceful man until you touch my blood." And Ben 10 is as close to blood as it gets. The background of this conflict is a graveyard of broken codes. Jay, Prince Jr. thought he was playing a game of check-ins and taxes, but he didn't realize he was dealing with a man who had nothing left to lose and an army that treats every command like a holy mission. The stage was set. The Houston police thought they were investigating a simple shooting, but the 4KT camp was preparing for a tactical extraction. The history between these two giants was always leading to this moment, a collision of two empires where only one could remain standing. The prince was comfortable in his kingdom, protected by the shadow of his father's legacy. But YoungBoy was done waiting for the law. He was ready to become the law. This is the background of the night Houston stood still. The night the prince realized that in the face of true revenge, a crown is just a piece of metal, and a legacy is just a memory. The mission was clear. Get the prince. Get the truth. Get the revenge. And as we are about to see, the 4KT team did miss. The clock struck 11:45 p.m. on the night of April 26th. The air in Houston was humid, heavy with the kind of silence that usually precedes a storm. Jay, Prince Jr., was reportedly leaving an exclusive, high-security event near the Houston Museum District. He wasn't alone. He had his usual security detail, men trained to handle any street-level threat. He felt untouchable. In his mind, he was in the heart of his kingdom, a place where his last name acted as a bulletproof vest. But he didn't realize that the rules of engagement had changed. He didn't realize that he wasn't being hunted by rappers. He was being targeted by a tactical unit with military precision. As his luxury SUV turned onto a dimly lit side street, the trap was sprung, in a move that witnesses described as something out of a professional heist movie. 3 matte black SUVs with reinforced bumpers and 0 license plates boxed him in. It happened in under 60 seconds. No shouting, no chaos, just cold, calculated execution. Before the prince's security could even reach for their holsters, they were staring into the red laser of high-end tactical gear. These weren't just street hitters. These individuals moved with a synchronized rhythm, disarming the guards and shattering the SUV's reinforced glass. Jay, Prince Jr., was pulled from the vehicle. No words were exchanged. He was blindfolded, zip-tied, and tossed into the back of a lead SUV that vanished into the Houston night before the first 911 call could even be processed. For the next 3 hours, the city of Houston belonged to the 4KT camp. The police were searching for a suspicious vehicle, but they were looking in the wrong places. The prince was already gone, taken to a private, soundproofed warehouse on the outskirts of the ship channel, a place where screams don't travel and the truth is the only way out. Now, here is where the story takes its first devastating turn. While the world began to panic on social media, a grainy, 10-second clip was uploaded to a dark web forum and then mirrored on a private Telegram channel. The footage was shaky, shot in low-light infrared. It showed a man, clearly Jay, Prince Jr., sitting in a cold steel chair in the center of a concrete room. He looked disoriented, his expensive designer shirt torn, his composure completely gone. But it wasn't the sight of the prince in distress that stopped the internet's heart. It was the voice coming from the shadows. A figure stepped into the edge of the frame. He was wearing a signature top balaclava, but the voice was unmistakable. That slow, melodic, yet predatory Baton Rouge drawl pierced through the static. You thought Houston was big enough to hide a snake? You thought I wouldn't find out who whispered to the shooter? The internet erupted. Was that actually NBA YoungBoy? Was he physically there, violating every federal restriction and risking a life sentence just to look the man who betrayed Ben 10 in the eyes? The first twist hit like a lightning bolt. YoungBoy wasn't just directing this from Utah. He had allegedly touched down on Texas soil. But the twist goes even deeper. As the figure in the video leaned closer to Jay, Prince Jr., he didn't pull out a weapon. Instead, he pulled out a tablet. He turned the screen toward the prince, and for the first time, we saw Jay, Prince Jr.'s face go pale. According to leaked descriptions of that footage, YoungBoy wasn't showing him pictures of his family or threats. He was showing him the digital receipts. Leaked reports from insider sources claim that the 4KT intelligence unit had successfully hacked into a secondary, encrypted messaging app used by the mob ties inner circle. On that screen was a message sent on April 8th at 11:22 p.m., exactly 8 minutes before Ben 10 was shot. The message was sent from a device registered to a shell company owned by the Prince family. It contained a single photo, a picture of Ben 10's table at confessions with the caption, "The target is seated. Green light. No witnesses." The betrayal was no longer a theory.
It was a documented fact.
Jay, Prince Jr., started to stammer, his voice cracking as he tried to explain that it was business, that it was about respecting the city. But the figure in the shadows just laughed, a dark, chilling sound that sent shivers down the spine of everyone who heard the audio. "Business is when we rap," Prince the voice said. This is family. And you just signed your own death warrant with a text message." At that moment, a secondary leaked social media post from a known 4KT associate went viral. It was a picture of Jay, Prince Jr.'s famous mob ties chain, lying on a concrete floor, shattered into pieces. The caption simply read, "The tax is paid in full." The realization hit the industry like a freight train. This wasn't a kidnapping for ransom. They didn't want money. They didn't want a public apology. They had the prince in a chair, they had the proof of his betrayal, and they had the world watching in real time. The conflict had escalated from a street beef to a full-scale tactical interrogation. The streets of Houston were now a war zone, with mob ties associates reportedly mobilizing hundreds of men to find that warehouse. But as the section ends, a new cliffhanger emerges. A leaked audio log surfaced from a Houston PD scanner. The dispatcher is heard saying, "We have a report of a high-speed chase involving black SUVs, but the vehicles aren't fleeing the city. They're heading deeper into the port." Was the warehouse a decoy? Or was YoungBoy preparing to move the prince to a second, even more secretive location? The first twist revealed the betrayal, but the second reveal, about what Jay, Prince Jr. said next, is what's going to change the rap game forever. He didn't just confess to his own role, he started naming names. Names of major artists, label heads, and even city officials who were all in on the setup. The prince wasn't just a prisoner anymore. He had become a snitch in a steel chair, and the 4KT camp was recording every single word. As the first light of dawn touched the Houston skyline on April 27th, the digital world was already in a state of absolute meltdown. The abduction of Jay, Prince Jr. was no longer a whisper. It was a screaming headline on every underground blog from New York to LA. But while the public was debating the legality of the move, the situation inside that concrete warehouse had escalated into something far more dangerous than a simple kidnapping. This wasn't just about a get back anymore. This was an information war. By 4 a.m., a second, high-definition audio file was leaked via an encrypted link on X, formerly Twitter. The audio was clear, chilling, and it contained the shocking reveal that has effectively canceled the peace treaties of the last decade. In the recording, Jay, Prince Jr.'s voice is heard trembling, breaking under the psychological weight of the situation. He wasn't just admitting to his own role, he was opening the floodgates. "It wasn't just me, man. I was told the industry wanted him gone. They said the 4KT movement was becoming too unpredictable for the money." The figure in the shadows, allegedly NBA YoungBoy, didn't move. He just let the silence hang in the air before dropping the bombshell that changed everything. He began reading back a list of names found on the prince's decrypted device. These weren't just street names. They were major industry power players. We're talking about label executives, high-profile managers, and even peacemaking OGs who had publicly supported YoungBoy while privately allegedly funding the Houston setup. The reveal was devastating. The shooting of Bend 10 wasn't a local dispute. It was an industry-sanctioned hit. The plan was reportedly to eliminate YoungBoy's right-hand man, force YB to crash out in a blind rage, and then use his federal history to lock him away in a supermax prison forever. Jay, Prince Jr. was allegedly just the local coordinator, the man on the ground who provided the restaurant location and ensured the security cameras had a technical glitch at the exact moment All-Star Jr. pulled the trigger. The escalation didn't stop at names. At 5:30 a.m., a screenshot of a wire transfer was leaked. It showed a payment of $250,000 made to a shell account linked to the Detroit camp just 48 hours before the shooting. The source of the funds? A multi-platinum artist who has been brothering YoungBoy in public DMs for months. The betrayal was deep, systemic, and corporate. Suddenly, the kidnapping narrative shifted. It wasn't an act of chaos. It was a hostage exchange. YoungBoy allegedly sent a direct, encrypted ultimatum to the mob ties headquarters. "I have the prince. I have the logs. I have the names. If Ben 10 doesn't walk out of that hospital, none of these legends walk onto a stage again." The industry backlash was instantaneous and panicked. Major labels reportedly held emergency Zoom calls at 6 a.m., terrified that their involvement in the anti-4KT coalition was about to go viral. Celebrity responses started disappearing. Posts of support for Houston were deleted within seconds as artists realized that the confession tape was real. The division between street rap and corporate rap had become a canyon. But then came the biggest reveal of the night, the one that raises a new, terrifying question. As Prince Jr. continued to name names, the audio abruptly cuts out, followed by the sound of heavy boots and a distant siren. The cliffhanger that has the world on edge is this. A leaked thermal drone photo shows two other blacked-out SUVs arriving at the warehouse. But they weren't mob-ties vehicles. They weren't police. They were unmarked, high-end tactical units. Did a third party intervene? Or was YoungBoy's extraction team being extracted themselves? The shocking reveal isn't just about who set up Ben 10. It's about who is currently holding the prince and the king in that warehouse. The story has moved past a kidnapping. It's now a multi-level entrapment where the hunter may have just become the hunted. And the next leaked file? Sources say it's a video file titled The Last Supper, showing exactly who was in that room when the door was kicked in. The rap game isn't just shaking, it's collapsing. And as of this moment, nobody knows if Prince Jr. is still in that chair, or if he's already been moved to a location where even the FBI can't find him. As the sun fully rose over the Houston skyline, the internet wasn't just talking, it was burning. The hashtag the prince and the top reached over 5 million mentions in under 4 hours. This wasn't just another rap beef, it was a cultural civil war. For the first time in history, the untouchable aura of the mob ties empire had been pierced, and the public reaction was a chaotic mix of awe, terror, and absolute disbelief. On social media, the 4KT loyalists, the Green Flag Army, were in a state of euphoria. TikTok and Instagram Reels were flooded with edits of NBA YoungBoy's past interviews where he spoke about loyalty, layered over the grainy warehouse footage. The narrative among the fans was clear. YB is the only one keeping it 100. He didn't call the cops, he handled the business. Fans were dissecting every second of the leaked audio, creating evidence maps to link the names Prince Jr. mentioned to specific industry moves. The YoungBoy effect was at an all-time high, with supporters claiming that this move had effectively ended the tax era in Houston. But on the other side, the backlash was fierce. A massive wave of old-head hip-hop commentators and industry veterans condemned the move as a suicide mission. The debate was polarizing. One viral thread on X, with over 300K likes, argued, "You can't kidnap the son of a legend and expect to survive." For KT, just sign their own death warrant. Houston doesn't forget, and the Prince family doesn't forgive. The streets were divided between those who saw YB as a revolutionary fighting a corrupt system and those who saw him as a loose cannon who had finally gone too far. Inside the industry, the panic was even more intense. Behind closed doors, major label executives were reportedly scrambling. The shocking reveal that the industry might have sanctioned the hit on Ben 10 sent a shiver through every corporate office in New York and LA. Leaked reports suggest that at least 3 major A-list rappers who had previously been friendly with YB immediately deactivated their social media accounts or went completely dark. The fear was simple. If the full confession tape leaked, their careers would be over by lunch. Celebrity reactions were filtered through layers of PR teams, but the accidental leaks told the real story. A grainy screenshot of a FaceTime call between 2 legendary Southern rappers allegedly showed them looking shell-shocked, with one of them reportedly saying, "The game is gone, bruh. There are no codes anymore. If they got the prince in a chair, nobody is safe." 50 Cent, never one to stay quiet, posted a cryptic image of a chessboard with the king and prince pieces knocked over, captioned, "Checkmate is AB****ch when you don't see the move coming. Hashtag interrogation diaries." He deleted it within 3 minutes, but by then, it had already been screenshotted a million times. The industry reaction wasn't just about fear, it was about alignment. Rumors began to circulate that a coalition of OGs was being formed to mediate a release, but the 4KT camp allegedly blocked every incoming call. The division was complete. You were either with the New World Order of 4KT, or you were standing with the old guard of mob ties. The section ends on a chilling note. A major Houston-based news outlet reported that a private security convoy was seen heading toward the outskirts of the city, but it wasn't the police. It was a fleet of armored trucks. At the same time, YoungBoy's official YouTube channel briefly updated its banner to a photo of the Houston ship channel before switching it back to black. The message was sent. The public was watching. The industry was trembling, and the verdict was being written in a warehouse that nobody could find. Now, you might think Jay, Prince Jr. walking out of that police station was the end of the chapter. But here is where the story turns into a psychological nightmare. The real twist isn't that he was released, it's why he was released. Inside sources from the 4KT camp are now leaking the most chilling detail yet. Before Jay, Prince Jr. was allowed to leave that warehouse, he wasn't just forced to confess. He was forced to watch a live stream. But it wasn't a movie. It was a live feed of Mob Tie's own secure servers being dismantled in real time by a team of elite hackers allegedly on YoungBoy's payroll. YoungBoy didn't just want to kidnap the prince. He wanted to kidnap the entire empire's data. The final twist that has the industry's elite shaking in their designer boots is this. YoungBoy now reportedly holds the tax ledger. We're talking about a decade's worth of digital evidence showing every major artist, every promoter, and every executive who paid Mob Ties for protection. If YoungBoy hits upload, he doesn't just start a street war. He bankrupts the entire hierarchy of Southern rap. He effectively turned Jay, Prince Jr. into a digital hostage. The reason the prince stood silent in front of the cameras wasn't because of physical injury. It was because he knew that one wrong word would cause a global leak that would destroy his family's legacy forever. But the cliffhanger that has the streets of Houston on a knife's edge involves a mysterious delivery. As Jay, Prince Jr. arrived back at his private residence, he found his garage door already open. Sitting in the center of the floor was a single, unmarked crate. Inside, it wasn't jewelry or money. It was the original surveillance hard drive from Confessions restaurant, the one the police claimed was corrupted on the night Ben 10 was shot. A note was taped to the drive, written in that unmistakable, aggressive Baton Rouge scrawl. I saw the whole thing. I saw who shook the shooter's hand before I even touched down. The police have the corrupted version. I have the truth. Tell your father the clock is ticking. The implication is devastating. YoungBoy is claiming he has footage that shows a high-ranking Houston official or a rival rap mogul directly coordinating with the shooter. This isn't just YB versus the prince anymore. This is YB versus the system. As of this second, Jay, Prince Sr. has broken his silence with a single, cryptic post of a lion in the tall grass, captioned, "The loudest in the room is the weakest in the room. Real power moves in silence." Is this the calm before the greatest storm in hip-hop history? Did YoungBoy just execute the most brilliant checkmate in street history, or has he walked directly into a trap designed to keep him in Houston forever? And the biggest question remains, what is on that hard drive? Sources say there is a 30-second clip of a face nobody expected to see at that restaurant. The war for Houston has just begun, and the first casualty is the secret Jay, Prince Jr. tried so hard to protect. Keep your eyes on the feed, because the garage video is rumored to drop at midnight. The industry is about to bleed secrets. This is a war where the truth is more dangerous than the bullets. If you believe NBA YoungBoy just changed the rules of the rap game forever, drop a for KT in the comments right now. Do you think Jay, Prince Jr. will retaliate, or is the Mob Ties empire officially compromised? Don't let the shadow ban hide the truth. Subscribe and hit that bell icon immediately. We are dropping the leaked warehouse audio and the garage video in our next update. You do not want to miss what happens when the King of the South strikes back.
Stay tuned.